All right, Danny Martoe. I am here with the Gutless Goat. The new Gutless Goat lost 50 pounds in just 8 weeks and surpassed CJ LeBoy, who had lost 47 in 8 weeks and then went on to lose 50 in 9 weeks. But Danny did him one better, and he's now the Gutless Goat. How you doing, Danny?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing great. And just to confirm, how much did you lose over the course of 8 weeks?
50 pounds. 50 pounds. Yeah. Actually, a little less than 8 weeks. I hit my target of 50 pounds.
Amazing. And tell the audience where you live and what you do and how old you are.
So I live in Miami Beach, Florida. I'm 44 years old, and I am a sports executive. I'm president of CSE, which is a sports agency based in Atlanta, Georgia.
Family man, got some kids, got a wife, busy, 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 right?
Correct. I have two kids and I have one on the way. I had to think that through. My wife is pregnant. I have a 2-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl.
Congratulations, man. Once again, talk the audience through how you were feeling when you first signed up for Gutless, what was going on, and some of the reasons that you joined us.
Well, this started a long time ago. Spent some time in the fitness business when I was younger, obviously played sports competitively, not professionally. Always knew that the body that I was living in really wasn't me. Felt like it was almost a shell of what I really used to be. And I would say more than a decade of trying different things and just not really being consistent, not really being accountable to myself, and just really falling short. And not only in the fitness side, not only in my own health, in a lot of different aspects of my life. So just, I started getting a little bit more serious about finding a way to fix this issue. And I knew it was more than just my diet. I knew it was deeper. I knew it had to do with my mindset, and my relationships with everything and everyone around me. So started, getting a little bit more serious about training, but still could not outrun my diet and other demons that I had within. And when I saw the GOAT, CJ LeBoy, lose weight, and he's someone that I have a lot of respect for in many, personally, professionally, we know each other. And when I saw him cut that weight in that period of time, I was like, I want in. So he made the intro, and then the rest is kind of history, evolving history, I guess.
Amazing. And what has changed in your life now that you've lost 50 pounds from a business standpoint, relationship standpoint, fathering standpoint, how you feel, how you look, the responses that you're getting from your clients, your colleagues? Talk us through that.
It's a positive across the board, but let me kind of break that down a little bit. From a professional standpoint, I think in general, when you see someone go through a major transition, a major life change, right? A lot of people talk about it and they don't back it up. It's easy to speak about it and not be about it. So I think anytime, even myself, when I would see someone like a CJ do something, or even let's take CJ off the table, other people, I was always fascinated. And it's like you have an instant respect for them because you do know what it takes and you haven't done it. And there's a reason you haven't done it, because the shit is hard, right? So I think professionally, I've commanded respect in my business and amongst my peers, but I think now, I think they see something in me that they maybe weren't sure I was capable of, because I did talk about it a lot and I never backed it up. And now here I show up out of the pandemic, a completely different person. So everyone had to look at me several different times, and I can feel more respect. Not that I wanted them to respect me more, but it does feel fucking great. Family wise, I have a young son who's an animal, climbing all over the walls, and I'm not getting younger. And, I have a lot of injuries that I've had to work around through this program. And to be 50 pounds lighter, that's double my son's weight, right? To be that much less just allows me to be so much more active, because my whole life I wanted a son. And because obviously I work in sports, love sports, you have that kind of dream. And now it's here, it's a reality. And here, he was coming to me with a ball every minute, ball, let's hit this, that. And I was feeling like shit, and I couldn't really own up to it, throwing balls off the couch and not being as active. And now I am. In addition, just leading by example, right? I mean, you tell your kids, you try to teach them, and you want them to eat healthy, and you're not eating healthy. How does that work, right? I mean, do as I say, not as I do. That's not something I wanted to live by anymore. So now when I preach to them, I'm practicing what I preach. And to me, that is very, very important. And my wife just, my wife is, she saw a picture of me when I was younger, the one that you saw from the 1930s. And she's like, will I ever get that guy? And I'm like, you know what? You fucking deserve that guy. So I always told myself I didn't want to be, this sounds a little morbid, but I didn't want to be a fat corpse, right? So I wanted to hit a certain point before I die. I wanted to get back to the old me. I mean, that's why my face is shaved. That's why, I'm not hiding anymore. So I hope that was a good answer to your question.
Excellent answer. Thank you so much. And you said it was hard. Now, it's really hard to lose 50 pounds in 8 weeks, but Kenny Chapman, your amigo and colleague, fellow NFL agent, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kenny lost 47 pounds, and he did that all through diet for the most part.
He did. I have my thought is, I weighed in at 245, right? So I kind of knew going into this that the guys that were heavier would have an advantage to lose the weight, right? So I knew I had to work that much harder to win. And again, when I say win, I wanted to win the competition. I wanted the belt. It was really a struggle against me, me in the mirror. But, Kenny was able to diet, and I pushed his ass to work out because mainly I was mad. I was just telling CJ, I'm like, this guy's losing weight. He's not training as hard. I'm killing myself. But that's what just kept me going, and Kenny and I, someone who I knew was in the business before, but now I have a bond with him and a strong relationship that I see will flourish beyond the Gutless program.
Thank you so much. And a lot of guys commented on the strength of the tribe and the gang that is Gutless, and talked about the importance of having that support. And it was kind of a surprise for most of our gangsters because it is an online group. And for that reason, a lot of people didn't think they'd bond quite as tightly as they did with the men in the gang. But there was kind of an overwhelming response a couple Wednesdays ago. And we heard that time and time again, just talking about the strength of the pack. You've deepened your relationship with Kenny, but how do you feel about the rest of the guys? You feel like you made some good contacts and good relationships?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the cast of characters in the reality show, called as you say, I kind of I thought about this, right? Because here I am on kind of a little family getaway, and we have a lot of kids around, right? And these kids are preschool. So kids are misbehaving all ways. And I'm sitting here telling them, like, once they go to school, they're going to have to fall in line, or they won't fall in line, right? So I equate that to our group, where you're amongst, we're not kids again, but we are all come in where we check our egos at the door, and everyone's on equal footing. There's, someone could be a president of this and someone could be that, and it doesn't fucking matter. We're all on the same level. And everyone's accountable to each other. And I think that's what is the two most important components of this program. And there are many, and I'm not trying to undermine any others, but the social aspect, the accountability, the support from everyone, and not wanting to let the person down, which in turn you're letting yourself down, which means you're letting your family down and your loved ones, right? And the competitive spirit, right? I think anyone who signs up for this program has got an itch they need to scratch, right? They got something that maybe they're not feeling fulfilled on as much, and not acting on things they want to, and honoring self promises. So I think, I think those two components are really what puts this program over the edge. And I've met so many, I mean, all the guys in the group. I know something about them personally, professionally. I understand their habits. I mean, I could tell you some of their weaknesses, some of their strengths, and we all have banded together to try to help one another, those that really want to be helped. And yeah, I feel like these bonds, you don't typically meet so many new guys at 44 years old, right? You're kind of set in your ways with your friends. And this to me has just brought a whole nother positive element to my life in terms of relationships with new friends.
Amazing. And this all happened during quarantine. So a lot of people out there are thinking it's too hard to do this during quarantine, when in fact, this is an excellent time to master your health and your body and your mindset, because we all have more free time than we're used to. What would you say to those who are struggling right now, putting on quarantine weight, stuck in the drudgery of the monotonous day-to-day living that is quarantine life? Would you recommend this, and who would you recommend it to?
So there's a phrase that was coined by, I think it was Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 Laws of Power and some other books. And he's been quoted a lot about talking about alive time versus dead time, right? And while I was in this quarantine, right, I was almost upset when I saw CJ lose all that weight. I'm like, holy shit, he's making, I was mad at myself for not doing that, right? I'm like, we're in the middle of this pandemic, this quarantine. This guy's going to come out better than what he went in. And I'm like, I'm too late. And I thought I was too late. I'm like, the quarantine's going to end, pandemic's going to be over, and I'm still going to be fat, right? So I jumped on it with that alive time versus dead time mindset. And I feel phenomenal now. Not only did I lose the weight and change my entire life and every relationship, I read a 1,000-page biography on George Washington. I read 3 other books. All of these audio books while I had to do this cardio was just phenomenal. So the quarantine pandemic, it's not going anywhere for a while. If you look at history, it lasts a while. So if I'm anybody out there, you got to jump all over this shit. I mean, it'll change your life. It'll strengthen you for what is to come in our world, which is, again, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns. But I can tell you what, I feel like I can take on anything today, right? And protect my family properly. I can go with anything that happens in business. And a lot of it is because of the values that I have, but also what Gutless has ignited from within me. Things that were there that just weren't coming out, and now they're here, and it couldn't be a better time for it.
Awesome, Danny. Yeah, we say the antidote to chaos is order. The antidote to anxiety is action. Beat the man you were yesterday every day, and you will win. Do what you can with what you've got where you're at. Those are some of our core principles that will take you through this difficult and uncertain time that is quarantine, and allow you to come out the other end stronger. We see that time and time again. So it starts with mindset. The body doesn't change if your mindset stays the same. Would you recommend Gutless, and who would you recommend it to?
100 and gazillion%. Of course, I recommend it. I am going to become a walking billboard for Gutless. And I think a lot of people have seen me. Is this right for everybody? I mean, I want to think that it is. Is it easy? No, I hate to say it, it's not. But nothing in life worth achieving is easy. And if that's your mindset, then I don't know if you're going to be right for anything. But yes, I mean, 110% my stamp on this, my family stamp. My wife will do a testimonial, my kids, my associates, friends. I mean, they have seen a different human being before them. after this Gutless program. And I think what is also important is everyone's asking me kind of, all right, what now? What are you going to do now? And I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but it's more the mindset. Like I woke up this morning, right? We had our graduation call this day. So I'm like, all right, it's kind of a little weird. I'm like, all right, what the fuck am I going to do? Right. And I'm like, I got to keep going. I'm like, I love coffee. I have a coffee machine. Like I'm into it. I made 20 coffees this morning for other people, did not make myself one because I did not want to ruin my fast with the little bit of oat milk that I put in there. So I'm not going to stop. I'm excited to learn more about the other programs, but this mindset is just a catapult and a launch pad for what other great things are yet to come my way.
Awesome. For those out there, I talk to a lot of guys on pathway calls, and they're afraid of making the investment because they're afraid of the time it will take. They're afraid of what their wives will say. Would you say your wife thinks this was a good investment of your time and money?
Yeah. You want me to go get her right now? Does she?
We've done that before, and then I just send that to I send that to guys who are like, I got to talk to my wife. I'm like, let me send you a video. I'll show you what she's going to say at the end of this.
Don't even talk to your wife. Just surprise her. I mean, for the cost for the price, you are getting more value than you could ever sum up from Bryce, your expertise, from Coach Danny, from, Gutless alumni, from people within major networks that are coming into this program and devoting time. I felt like I was, a personal coach for some guys at times as well, because you named me captain. But I mean, it's hard to express the value, but I would just say your wife, your family, you can't put a dollar amount on the changes that were really made from me. And if you force me to, I would say that you're not charging enough for your program. And that's just my opinion. And I've told you that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, there's really nothing to think about. I think about that Jim Carrey movie where he had to say yes to everything, right? Say yes to this shit because, whatever you've been doing has not been working. And when at times like that, sometimes you just got to turn shit on its head and do the complete opposite and just jump in the fire. And I promise you, when you come out, you will not be the same man.
Ow! Ow! Danny Martoe, the motherfucking wolf. Last question, and Gutless goat, of course. Last question is, do you see this as a diet or a lifestyle? You've seen guys keep the weight off. You've seen CJ, Ty, John Quick, a lot of guys staying involved months after, years after, like Justin Barr. Is this something that you feel is a, one-trick pony, one-night stand, or is this something you're going to get married to?
This is a lifestyle. They say the word diet, the first three letters, or die. You've heard that. I mean, it's not, diets don't work. I mean, they're temporary. If you don't incorporate healthy practices into your lifestyle, you're going to be doomed. I mean, you could, again, I really started this. I was nervous. I was freaked out about my heart. I thought I was going to die. Right. I think a lot of people in the program were. So if you don't change your ways, there's no way around eating shit, not working out, eating pizza or fast food at horrible times and doing all of that all the time, and then expect to have this, to live long, look good. It just doesn't work. And if you, like you talk about magic beans, there is no magic bean. So you got to adapt the lifestyle, and Gutless is just, I think, the entryway to the lifestyle. It helps propel you onto where you really want to be. And it assists you, gives you the support. And it's not just a one stop, because here I am, I just broke the record, and I'm looking for your other programs to help me get to my next step. Because one, I believe in you, and I believe in what you've done for me and my family and for the entire group. And, you know, two, I love it. It's become my family, right? My extended family. Not some friends that you know, there's a lot of negative people out there. And like you say, and you've heard, you are who you surround yourself with. And this is a great group of guys that I want to stay in the mix with. And I'm hoping that my class will all continue to go on, which I know a number of them are, and just want to keep that camaraderie growing. You know, it's important, especially now in the times and the uncertain times. And, you know, there's just a lot of unknowns out there. And I think this is the perfect time for getting involved in something like this and maintaining and growing with it.
Last question. So testosterone, and you don't have to answer this personally, but we did hear it echoed again, time and time again, that men were getting their sexual functionality back, and things like morning wood were happening again. All you have to do is confirm or deny that those things were happening as a result of the testosterone boosting taking place in the Gutless gang. Men are getting their mojo back. Did you see it, or is it a fable?
Was it Bigfoot? No. So I'll elaborate because I will. And but I think there's a lot of guys out there, right? And I was this guy, like mentally. Listen, sex is one of our pleasures that we get to maintain. Where, you know, especially if you're doing it the right way with the right people, there's no, you know, no harm. It's, you know, if you're doing it other ways, there could be, right? So you're doing it the right way. Mentally, I always felt I could get up for the challenge, and I could, because my mind is strong when I put it to something. But physically I was there, but that's because my mind was there. And I thought I was there until I started doing this. And then the mind and the physical came together, and it was even better. So yeah, I mean, I would wake up with morning wood in the middle of the night, in the fucking morning. I would say, honey, look at that, you know? And it was like an uninvited thing. You know, I could invite it and he'd show up. But this is like something, he was just like at the door fucking knocking, ready to come in, you know? Yeah. So I can attest it's real. And it has to do with, there wasn't one thing. It was just all the prescriptions that you made. You know, that was one of the many benefits that I've acquired through this.
Amazing. And we also had some guys come off of actual medical prescriptions, lowering their blood pressure, coming off their blood pressure medication, cholesterol medications, acid reflux medications, and diabetes. We reverse diabetes. Insulin dependency can go away. There's a lot of correctable men's health issues and life-threatening situations that can be addressed and are addressed in the Gutless gang. So thank you for bringing that up. And you are the champ, the reigning champ, the motherfucking Gutless goat. And let's give a awoo-bah, because it's the wolf, Captain Danny the Wolf, which was his nickname. You're going to get a nickname if you join the Gutless gang. And then the bah is for the goat, which Danny now is. So 1, 2, 3. Awoo!
Bah!
5 fingers make a fist. Gutless.